Okay, welcome everybody to episode number 14, I think it is, Iain. My name's Tony Howland, this is Iain, as you know, and we have a special guest today. He's come all the way from Colombia. Okay, Iain, let's look at our first game today. Banyas versus Ajman, top against bottom, you could say.
Huge game. It's a must-win for both teams for two different reasons. Banyas are trying to keep up to date with Sharjah and Al Jazeera, and Ajman need to win, because they are on the edge of that relegation zone.
They're getting sucked back in, they were winning, now they're losing again, Iain. And Banyas look unstoppable at the moment, I've got to say that, Iain.
The more and more I see them play, the better and better they get.
Yeah.
So well organised,
Totally
they're brilliant going forwards. The crispness of the passing, the interchange from defence, midfield, the transitions is exceptional, and we'll see in this game how good they really are. Ajman looking better going forward. They've always been reasonable. They're a little bit more solid, which we'll see in a moment.
It's still that defence, still that midfield back to what's his name, Diego Jardel and Micah. They do look better. It's just that.
Yeah, well, there are a couple of good examples of the defensive lineup here, which is better, but we'll go to that in a moment. So sort of just run the play here. So obviously Ajman going forward, Banyas pretty solid as usual, getting in good positions, giving up the striker not much room really to work with. And here's the first goal. So as it goes in, it looks like it's a superb flick on. But when you do actually have a look at the replay, it's an own goal.
It's a lucky goal, isn't it, if anything. You were flicking it on, he didn't mean to.
So as it comes in, it's flicked on there. But again, interesting lineup here. If we look at the Banyas players in blue, we've got 3 Ajman players there.
And there's nobody picking this guy.
Who are they marking? They need to. Who's going to pick up this ball? Who goes across the top? If he does get a proper flick on, they're not really picking anyone up at all. So, to the naked eye, it looks so there's bodies in the box and they look good, but they're not where they need to be.
Yeah, I can see that. You can see that clearly.
And they're unlucky. There in the deflection, but the two guys at the back there could have easily been there to put it in the back of the net anyway. Which is poor.
What happened here?
Well,
is it the sending off or is it?
No, this is a
chance for João Pedro.
Yeah. So as the ball comes in again, good effort. It's a crossbar, but as you saw there we can't try and get a replay if we can very quickly. Just gone quite. So just want to go back just ever so slightly because we can't quite see the lineup. So this is just obviously the replay of the goal going in. But as we pause the ball, so there's obviously the flick on.
Yeah, the lucky goal. But it's a goal they deserved. They had better possession with a better team. I think it's a goal they deserved.
But as we pause it there, the Ajman defence in there set up reasonably well. I would have liked to see this fullback just put in a little bit more. There's no one here putting any pressure on him, so he's a little bit out now. He's redundant, really.
And they've got that classic 4-3-3 they like to.
But he could even push it a little bit tighter. Man mark 2 on 1 here. But they look reasonably good. The midfield here in quite a good solid position. No problem. But I think they're set up well, but they seem to have that moment of that lapse. They just sort of switch off, and as this ball gets cleared relatively well, you see the midfielders just switch off a little bit. So not a bad clearance down the middle, which is an issue. So these two don't really do anything. 15's not really impacting. They're jogging back. They've got to get back here. 10's on his own. Ball comes in. There's 2 or 3 men on their own who can pick up the loose balls.
Something maybe they should look at.
Again, a little bit sloppy. Another man unmarked here. So they're setting up reasonably well from the dead ball when the ball's not moving, the static ball. But then when they start to play, they just need to switch off just a tiny little bit.
Yeah, you can't leave a player like João Pedro that much space, can you? I mean, they were lucky. Is this a sending off?
This is what do you think? Second yellow. Well, it
could have gone either way from
clumsy. I think when we look at it, when we break it down here, he's gone in. Ishmael's gone in with his stud showing. He's gone through. It's quite nasty, that really, isn't it?
It could have been.
So yeah, that's fair
yellow card. It's his second silly challenge. Yellow card.
And it makes it very, very difficult for them. But again, Ajman caught. I mean, we were 3 on 4. These two again, that quick into play, little chest down. He's played it, knocked it, run, and they've gone. And they're playing catch up, aren't they? They're playing catch up all the time. This guy here, all he's got to do is try and show him outside. pushing down that left-hand channel.
It's a Nigerian, is it? Like a Nigerian player.
Wait for these two to get back in there and try and get the shape. But as we see from here,
yeah, I know this silly penalty, weren't it?
See, here we're looking okay. Obviously, you can see the body shape of the Banyas player.
Yeah.
He's looking to go onto his right foot, so he needs to either push him, come back this way, and push him this way away.
Well, what does he do? I mean,
well, yeah, that's it.
Again, I keep saying that word. Schoolboy. I like to say schoolboy. That's a schoolboy tackle.
Literally, just need to hold him up for 1 or 2 seconds.
Get the players coming in. They're coming in.
Then you've got the bodies in the box, but he just couldn't do it. He got his body in the wrong position, and he just.
Pedro uses his experience and wins a penalty.
And then he's the last man you want to have 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper, just pushing him back. And that's, I think, 14 for him now this season. And he's just unstoppable, isn't he? You give him half a chance and he scores a goal. And as we said at the start, Banyas are looking very, very good. And to be honest, they're probably looking better than Sharjah at the moment.
I think if Al Jazeera slip up Iain and Sharjah, they could come in and step in and take it. I don't think they will, personally. But if one of the top two teams slip up and they keep playing like this,
they look good.
Pedro, he is the linchpin of their team at the moment.
Yeah.
There's only 3 strikers: Lima, Ali Mafkut and João Pedro that are, at the moment, they're unplayable.
Yeah. Ashman, there's signs, we said before at the start, didn't we, that down the bottom is getting very, very tight. So points are at a premium now. And Ashman look good, like I said, defensive shape is getting better. Going forward, they're pretty good. Fujera getting drawn in there. Hatter have won a game or so. So it's getting tight. We didn't think it would be this close.
No, we didn't. It is. It's getting interesting as well. We'd like to get your opinions, what you think as well. We think the league's getting very interesting. Anyway, let's move on to our next one. We can talk about Fujera. Calba versus Fujera. Okay, let's look at our next game, Iain. This is a game I actually commentated on. I've been to a couple of Fujera games at home, and I have to say Fujera. My son, by the way, his favourite team is Fujera. At home, they've been disappointing. They really have, when they should have got them points at home. This is a game they should have drawn or won. I saw them against Kofikan, they should have won. Worst draw, but they lost. And sadly, they lost this game. And we're going to have a look at why they lost this game. Okay, so let's go into let's have a look at our first opportunity. Fell to our man, David Mariani. And I've got to say, it was man of the match, by the way, David Mariani. Well done, David, if you watch. The new coach has been brought in to replace Goran. And here we see Calba straight away. I wouldn't say they had the better possession. Fujera had the better possession, but they were more solid. And there's the first opportunity. A lovely ball. David Mariani didn't catch it nicely. And then another opportunity fell to Ben Labi. It was a good free kick, if we can pause it there. Iain. Ben Labi, to me, is one of their best players as Tunisian. He hit the ball, he hit the crossbar, and David Mariani, he was a man of the match for me. He won the penalty, and he got an assist in 2 of the goals. And as you saw there with the first opportunity, he hit it wide. Nothing much happened after that, Iain, if we can move it on. Fujera were poor. They had lots of possession, but they kind of didn't know what to do with it, Iain. Then this is the struggle, a bit of luck. Comes to David Mani, flicks it over, and if you see number 22, it catches his hand, and the VAR picked it up. It is a penalty. It's unlucky because it's almost, what can he do?
Yeah.
But he's got his arms up there, and with this new rule, that no matter if it's accidental, deliberate, if it's point blank, if it hits your hand, it's a penalty. And the VAR picked it up, and we have our first player, our first goal. You can see there, Mr. Mohamed Mlapa puts it away. Had a good game as well, got a couple of goals. So that was the first goal, and it was right on half time. Then we saw the other goal. We could just pause it there. I don't know what Fujera were doing there. I mean, I'm commentating on this game thinking, Fujera, I want to use my classic saying, wake up and smell the coffee, guys. Really, sorry, Iain, I forget that.
No, that's good, I like it.
And I mean, if we just play it on, this is a defender, by the way. Sabil, Mohamed Sabil, I think it is. Had a good game. He had a bit of a mare against the big loss. They tried to say it was offside. It was nowhere near. It was a yard onside. And if you look at how he took the goal here, he took it like a striker. He really did. And you can see him coming in here. He's not offside here.
No. And if you look at the numbers, Fajera have got the numbers back. You know, they're looking around. They've got 10 people behind the
goal.
But
they just stood still, and he kicked the ball. David Mariani. He put the cross in, and the guys just stay still and they come in. They were all on side, most of them.
But if you look at how they're picking up here, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 marking 3 players, and then you've also got a 1v1 and a 1v1 back here.
And there's a scorer. So he ends up marking him, and he comes in.
So you could almost argue, well, why are they not doing 2 on this man, 2 on this man, 2 on this man, 2 on 2?
So who's responsible for this here? Is that the coach, or is it the goalkeeper, or should it be the captain? Tell them, come on guys, pick up players.
So that's how they've been set up. This is how we're going to defend free kicks from this area, and this is what we're doing, assuming that this ball's going to be played into this sort of area here. But crazy, it's how you've got so many Fajera players there, marking 3 players, and then you've left 2 guys on the back post.
Yeah, and 3 of them could have scored the goal.
1v1, and then as we just run it across.
Look, he comes in, he's well onside, he ran from well onside. I mean, look, there's 1, 2, 3. Could have scored the goal.
Yeah, it's poor.
It's disappointing. I mean, they had a couple of half chances for Jira, but they were very, very. If he played on him, it would just. That was Douglas, the Coutinho, the new signing, scored a goal on his debut. That was the only real chance he got, and then this. I mean, again, silly play. He didn't score, Malapa. I mean, I screamed that he's going to score, and he didn't. Again, it was poor defending here.
It was a superb press from Calvert, wasn't it? Just a half chance, a missed mistake.
This is where you always pick this up.
Boom, straight on, they're straight after them, putting pressure on them, and you can see the fullback's panicked. He knows as that ball's coming in, I've got to deal with this straight away or I'm in trouble. Yeah. And he didn't do either, and that was it.
Luckily, they got away, but you always say this, Iain, and he said that this high pressure game, at the European style, if you win the ball in their half, then it's a goal scoring chance because they're on the offensive.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened. But they were lucky. This was a great bit of play. Jacob to the Brazilian to Malapa. Game over. It really was. And they tried to say it was offside, but you can see clearly Jacob plays the ball to Romulo. He's clearly onside. Cuts it back, beautiful. Been a great signing for Calvert. I remember you were saying they needed to bring some fresh.
They did, didn't they? They were just getting a bit stale, and these new signings were just freshened them up a little bit.
I tell you, Iain, it's exactly what the doctor ordered.
I suppose they have been a little bit up and down since that, but that's natural with new players coming in. But they needed it, and they just showed
starting to pay
difference
off
now. Yeah,
really. And they were unlucky not to get to the cup final.
Yeah,
and they went to penalties, and they were very unlucky. And again, it's the same cup final as last year.
Yeah.
She's about last week against Nasser. Anyway, that's my synopsis. Let me know what you think. Let us know what Iain thinks. We're going to move on to the next game, Iain. And what game are you on now?
It's the big one.
Oh,
Sharjah, Al Jazeera.
Wow. Top 2. Let's have a look at it then. Let's look at our last game we're going to analyse using the TV, and it's the big one. It was billed all week, it was pushed, it was on Twitter, social media, and it is the biggest game of the season, I would say.
Huge, absolutely huge. Again, neither team can slip up. The way Banyas have been playing, they're hot on the heels, they know that. They can't slip up. Both teams need 3 points. And if you're a Sharjah fan, it's not a very good watch at all.
It's not pretty watching, is it? And Al Jazeera did the business, and the team in form, I've got to say.
Yeah, and
it went as expected to me.
Yeah, and at times it was men against boys. Sharjah looked very disappointing. They've not been playing well probably for about the last month, and they've managed to get away with it a little bit. You know, they've got some very good players. They've scored some outstanding goals, but they got found out here today big time, and it's at times a little bit embarrassing.
Yeah, disappointing because it's your team. Al Jazeera's my team, by the way. Sorry,
Yeah, but I might have to change. I think I might have to change the teams. Keep playing like this. I'm not interested anymore. Corner early on, whipped in. Goal. You know, we're talking 13, 14 minutes, and the last thing you want to do is give Al Jazeera a half chance.
You can see you were saying the players.
It was a good example. After the goal's gone in, players are looking around, looking at each other, who's picking him up. And when that's happening, it's not looking good. You know, in terms of the defensive line, they've got a lot of people set up across the 6-yard box, which is absolutely fine. We've got a man marking here. You know, we're marking part zonal, part part man to man. So 7 is going to come into this space here, will 5 will hopefully pick up.
Yeah.
So the man in question, the goal scorer, number 15, no one's picking him up, and he makes quite a clever run around the back here. If you follow the cursor, just makes quite a clever run. 18 and 4 get drawn in towards 7, towards the ball.
Of course, everybody's.
Yeah, and of course then he comes around the back and pops it in the back of the net.
Yeah, free header, Iain.
And then
it's
everyone's
not
looking
as
around.
Sharjah like.
Yeah,
I mean, completely free header.
you can't do that.
He's not going to miss, is he?
And then here again, example of a fullback trying to play the ball out a little bit too much, maybe getting a bit above his station. Instead of looking to play the ball centrally or play the ball long into the channel, he's decided to have another touch. He's been caught in possession. So here, instead of getting rid of it, I don't know why he's turning back inside. It's only ever going to go wrong. You can only play the ball back into here, and they're going to press him in here.
Well, I'm watching Al Jazeera this week, and you've always said they are a European style. And Sharjah, they should know this. They're going to put pressure on them.
Exactly.
Get rid of that ball
and especially
quickly.
these sort of danger areas here. They know obviously your fullback is not going to be the strongest player on the ball, so they're going to put pressure on him straight away. And he's made it easy. He's turned back in, which means then he's turned his back on the play. He can only go one way, and boom, the press is on. It's been taken off of him, and here we go, and the drive forwards. And to be honest, it's a superb bit of refereeing. 1, 2, probably 2 fouls there. The referee's allowed play to go on, and then great little play onto his right foot, and he just slipped it between the defender's legs.
You can't let Halim have cut. I mean, we said he's a man in form, and he just went past these players. I mean, it's a good line, yeah?
Again, yeah, good. So like I said before, the referee's done really well to allow play to go on.
Foul,
He's always going to cut in onto his right. He does it 2 times. And again, but look at the body shape. Defender's come steaming in. He's facing the wrong way. His body shape's completely the other way. He needs to be turned around the other way. Number 5 is looking the wrong way. So all 3 of them are the wrong way. They've got to be looking here, seeing where that ball's coming from, where he's coming from. If you're Ali Macroom there, I'm here, playing you across here, and then I can do something about it or pass you on. And they're doing none of that. And he just cuts inside.
Beautiful.
Bang.
Man,
there again. And he
Through
just
the
slides
legs.
it through his legs, giving the keeper not much chance at all, really.
Yeah. 2-0.
2-0 again. Sharjah, good press there, actually working hard to get the ball, and a good save there from Kamis.
He's the international goalkeeper.
But that's the sort of chance that Sharjah were left on.
This was an opportunity for Sharjah, don't you think? Now with this, what happened here?
Yeah, it was again. I was talking before. This would have been a great example if you hadn't found him. How that ball's gone into midfield. They pressed really, really hard, and the only thing is he's gone in too hard and just gone a little bit late. And caught him, which has resulted in
the second yellow.
Yeah, I think it might have been a straight red.
They went down the back of him.
No, second yellow. You were right.
Now this is where you think Sharjah, man up.
2-0.
Should do the business
got
now.
60 minutes gone. The opportunity here. A goal now could change everything. And
they got a goal here. Iain. What happened?
Well, you think at this point,
what a fantastic
great
goal.
finish. To get that out of his feet and put that in the top corner, and we think now maybe game on. Sharjah can maybe pull something back from here, but unfortunately, VAR steps in. As we see it, it's again very, very minimal, very unlucky, and to be where he is to impact on the pitch is extremely unlucky.
And between me and you, Iain, I think that knocked the wind out of the sails.
Well, there we are. Look at that. I think they've scored. Suddenly they're on a high. We've got this. VAR comes back the wrong way, and suddenly shoulders drop, heads drop. You think
it really is.
We're going to struggle here. And actually, that's a great point, because when you see the final goal, it's not great viewing from anyone in the Sharjah.
Any Sharjah fans, it's not pretty viewing, really, isn't it?
So as we see, this is almost as if we're on the training ground. Last couple of minutes, everyone's worn out. Just watch what happens between these two here. They're not interested. Not interested. And this is a team who are sitting third in the league, trying to get the league title. You've still got to fight.
Sharjah-like.
The amount of games we've seen this season have gone 90, 93, 94 minutes, and people are scoring in these last minutes. Who knows what will happen? But just watch. Nothing. Very lacklustre. No real effort. He just digs the ball through there. Turns. Well. No one goes with the runner. Plays it across. Turns back to a beautiful little flick in there. And again, he's caught on the wrong side of him. Yeah, he's looking for the penalty, but again, the defender's coming the wrong side of him. And then Howland put pots in the back of the net.
Makes it look easy.
17 for the season.
Yeah, top goal scorer at the moment, top of the league.
And I think, to be honest, I think that's it for Sharjah. I don't think.
Really?
Yeah, the way they're playing, I'm not been impressed at all. And the way Banyas are playing, they look a lot better. Still opportunities, but like I said, they gave up. If they hadn't given that goal away, who knows what happened. Wellington again had a bit of an off day.
He's not a prolific goal scorer. He'll pop up with his goals. He's a goal every 3 games, I think his statistics say. And he's
but as you can see, he's still putting himself about a bit. But I don't understand why they're putting all this effort in now when they're 3-0 down. When they're 2-0, if they'd have switched on, that third goal would have gone in, and then this could have potentially been 2-1.
Yeah, definitely.
Again, too late, and this again sums it up really.
Sums it, yeah.
That's it. Not even close. Not even close. And that just showed. I think his head's gone down. They're just, like I said before, they're not looking like the Sharjah of old, and it's a shame to see. But
it really is for your team and me now. It made me happy.
My old team.
And I'm Absoudi, and because of my team, and it went. I didn't think it'd be 3-0, and I thought it'd be a lot tighter, but a good game. Let us know what you think. Alright, let's move on to the other games. We're going to analyse the other games now, and we've got something special for you. So all you Spanish speakers, Colombians, welcome to Ricardo, or is his football name Ricardinho. He's a special guest that's come on. He teaches the football coaches here, so he knows a little bit about football. He's a good player himself, trust me. And he's going to give us an analysis on the Hatta game.
Okay, today we have
Hatta versus Al Nassr?
Al Nassr versus Hatta.
Yeah. Okay, so he's going to give us analysis on that in a minute, and then we've got a couple of the games Iain and I are going to look at. Okay, so we'll move on. So, can I call you Ricardinho or Ricardo? Which one do you prefer?
Ricardo.
Ricardo, you saw the game. I mean, you've been in the UAE a few times. So tell us what happened.
Okay, first of all, I'm very happy to be here in the UAE.
Yeah.
So I have seen some matches, and I think they are very good players.
It's a good league, isn't it?
It's a good league, probably.
It's not as big as the Colombian league, of course. Ricardo is from Cali, and they're one of the. It's like the Dubai of Colombia. They have the money there, and they have some really good teams. And we have a couple of Colombian players here as well.
Yes, I have. I think Orlando Rio, Spain, Kolfata.
Okay.
Orlando Rio.
And the coach here at the Emirates Club used to be the former coach here at the Emirates Club. Thanks to the Emirates Club here, by the way, for hosting us again.
Yeah, Jose Luis Pinto. I don't know why maybe he had to quit, maybe something.
Yeah.
But he was good. I'm really happy to be here. Analyzing.
Yeah, he's going to analyse Hatta.
Hatta.
Tell us about them. What happened there at the game?
Okay, Al Nassr is a very good team. They were controlling all the match, the 60% of the possession. And Hatta, they were trying to defend it, but sooner or later the goals must become. Yeah. So
well, it is
in the last 10 minutes.
And Nassr are the top, aren't they?
Oh, it's near the top.
Yeah, and Hatta.
Fourth. And Hatta is in the bottom. So maybe they need to work more. But in the last 10 minutes, they scored 2 goals in the minute of 85 and 94.
Yeah, Al Nassr scored them 2.
And then,
why did it take so long for Al Nassr, do you think, to score? Were Hatta getting tired? Why did they?
Okay.
It took them 85 minutes to score the first goal they had. Why do you think that was, Ricardo?
Okay, they had one of the best team.
Well, Hatta getting tired, do you
but
think?
they had to try to get more like a team, no? Like a team, as good assistance. But anyway, they are good players. And at the end of the day, they won. That's the main.
Iain and I think we were discussing it. Hatta seemed to be getting tired at the end, yeah? And I think Al Nassr, as you were saying, being the better team, they came good at the end. They were still fit and strong. So who scored the first goal?
The first goal was Jason Salah.
Oh, Jassim Jacob, yes.
Jason Jacob. He got a nice assist.
First goal of the season for him.
Yeah. And I have seen this football player. He's very good. Mendes.
Oh, Ryan Mendes,
he's very good.
Quality player.
Very nice. So at the last goal, was a very nice. It was difficult because in Colombia we call it was a tunnel. This was a tunnel, and he made an assistant to Ryan and scored the goal. So it was good.
He had a good game. You mentioned
It was a good
Ricardo
game.
says Ryan Mendes was the best player.
Yeah,
he
Ryan
assisted
Mendes.
the first goal and
He assisted the first goal and made the second one.
And it's his first season, had a good season. He signed from Sharjah, by the way.
Yeah.
I can't believe Sharjah let him go. He's been
I think it's an interesting point you made about Hatter seems to be conceding late goals. I think it is because they're getting tired, because they're not one of the stronger football teams. So when they do play games, they're not having a lot of possessions. They're having to chase the ball quite a lot. So that chasing the ball, trying to get the ball back,
very
is
good point,
creating,
yeah.
pressure. And the problem is they can't afford to sit back and let teams just play the ball around them. Because they're at the bottom, they need the ball, they need to score goals, so they have to go and chase that ball down. And I think by the sort of 70th, 80th, 90th minute, they're just shot.
Yeah, they really are
That's probably why
shattered.
they're conceding late goals.
They have conceded
And they're in
water.
they're in that sort of no-win situation because they've got to get the ball. They need to score goals. So how are they going to do it? So whether they need to be more sort of reserved where they play, they have periods of play where they sit, try and soak up pressure, and then they all press and go at once for 10, 15 minutes, and then have to sit back again. I think at the moment they're just trying to, we've got to score, we're going to go get the ball. It's maybe work a little
Very
bit too
good
much
point.
for them.
No, and we were saying on our way here that with Hatter, the problem is their defence and they can't score. And so
Not a great combination.
it's in, and when they do score, and especially towards the end, we were saying, we're looking at some of the games, they've been 2-0 up, then they sit back and they get really nervous. And I think they got nervous as well. They were 0-0 and it's near the end, and I think nerves set in as well.
But it's interesting though, isn't it? Because the results above them have helped them. They've got a couple of wins as well. Whereas we've always said, well, probably for the last sort of 8-9 weeks, that Hatter are going down.
And
There's
got a chance.
There's an opportunity. You know, they're
Got
not
a
playing
chance.
particularly well, but they're a lot closer than what they were 3 weeks ago.
I agree, okay.
Although they had opportunity, but they couldn't take advantage of it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we were saying that as well. They had chances to score early on.
Yeah, absolutely.
But do you think Al Nassr deserved that win, Ricardo?
yes, yeah, he really deserved. Yeah,
Yeah.
he really deserved. Win.
All right, so thanks to Ricardo for that. So let's move on to your game, Iain.
Yeah, Shabab versus Corfacam. And, well, the goal fest, 4-3 Shabab, and it was an unbelievable game. It was, I think also a game of basketball. It was from one end to the next. Goal, basket. It was unbelievable. Corfacam went up, they attacked. As soon as they attacked, Shabab went up the other end, they attacked. It just kept going and going and going. And as a neutral, just sit there and watch it. It was unbelievable.
I mean, and even Shabab Al, there's lots of Brazilians in there.
Yeah.
You're going to get an entertaining game.
It was entertaining. The quality of football was really good. Overall, the defending and the goalkeeping was poor. When you look at the highlights there, the goalkeeping was questionable. A lot of the goals, Omar Juma scored a superb strike, absolute goal. But apart from that, the goalkeeping was very, very disappointing, and hence why it was 4-3.
They know how to score, Corfacam.
Yeah.
They've got fantastic Brazilians. I think there's 5 of them right from the midfield, and they can all score. Ramon.
Yeah.
The only Emirati is Omar Juma. He's a quality
He's a
player as
very
well.
good player.
And they've got Rafael or Dodo. He likes to be called.
And to score 3 goals against Shabab Al, no one really does that. Because since the new managers come in, he's really tightened them up and really got them scoring goals, which is great. But it was just one of those
Cracking games.
crazy mad games that you just couldn't keep your eyes off. And when it finished, I was worn out and I was playing. It was like, so can't see what they were like. But and a fair result. The better team overall did win. They got the 3 points. Corfacam were unlucky. Looking back, they might think on another day we might have got a point.
What do you think about Corfacam? I mean, they look good. I mean, I think they'll do well this season.
Yeah,
I think
they are. They do better than their close rivals, Fujairah.
Do you think they'll get dragged into that relegation? Me personally, what do you think?
No, it's tough, isn't it? Going forward, they looked absolutely brilliant,
Phenomenal.
but they still conceded four goals, and it was one of these from both teams. however many goals you're going to score, we're going to score one more. So neither team would bothered about defending. We'll just
if they can get a good defence, they
Yeah.
would be unstoppable. Really.
But I think it's going to be, isn't it? It's going to be Hatta, Ashman, Fujera,
I think it's just them three.
and then three. And it's, I don't know which one it's going to be. Well, we always said it's always going to be Hatta and probably Ashman.
But I don't know now. Well,
I don't know.
I watched Fujera, they've got this new manager, and you'll see for yourself he hasn't won yet, and he's lost badly as well. And I was talking to a good friend of mine who said that they shouldn't have sacked Goran, they shouldn't let him leave. They brought this new guy, they'll go down. He said he thinks Iceman will go above them because they haven't won since him, and they've played teams below them, teams just above them, and they've lost badly. I think I'm going to change my mind. I think Iceman will stay up because they're staying with the manager here, and we spoke about that. They have trust in him, they've brought some new players, and they are playing well.
Yeah, they've got. There seems a bit more desire. There's like I was saying before, the defence looks good. They just need to make sure they concentrate, and they're good going forward. Where Fujera look a little bit of a mess.
They do. They really. They look like they don't know how to score.
Yeah.
The strikers, and I think Christian, what's he called? Armenteros. He's injured now from the last game.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going to happen there. But anyway, thanks for that, Iain. We're going to look at another game. It was a local derby. Al Dhafra versus Al Ain in the capital. And I have to say, it was one that a result we didn't expect. Al Dhafra won at Al Ain. Al Dhafra won at home 2-1 against Al Ain. I mean, what was that all about? Al Dhafra having a nightmare season. I mean, they're slowly getting dragged into the relegation. And then
I don't think they've won a game for five games.
Yeah, something like that. I think they've drawn and lost 4, and then they've come in and beat Al Ain, who were 4th at the time, the highest position all season. And the young team, as we've said, are starting to gel. These young players, who's it? Pedro Conde, is it the manager? He's starting to get the young players to gel for next season, where you'll really see a different Al Ain. I don't know what happened there. And watching the game, if you watch the game, I mean, you'll see the highlights. Al Dhafra were the better team.
Yeah,
they could have won by more, and Al Ain were disappointing. I've got some of Mikel. He was he played really well, and the new signings, Diop, signed from Shabab in Saudi Arabia. It's his 3rd game. He's already on 2 or 3 goals. I can't remember exactly, but it was a turn up for the Bucks. A great game to watch, and. Let's hope Al Dhafra can do something. Let's see if this is a springboard, because that's a big win. A local derby against 4th. They were slowly getting dragged back. They're on a bad run of games, and this was a real turn up for the Bucks. Yeah,
it was. No one expected it. Like we said, we watched Al Dhafra previously. They've been
disappointing,
inconsistent. Nothing really. They're sort of a team that are in the league, and no one really almost cares about how Al Dhafra getting on, but it's kind of a shocky show. We don't really know. They're just sort of they're there, but no one really is interested. And then suddenly this results come out of nowhere, and they need that. It's good for the league to showcase their skills. A shock for Al Ain, but Al Ain are always going to have that because the team they've got put together. It's a youngish team, and it is. But for them, we've talked about they're looking forward to next season. I think next season, I know we're not finished yet, but it'll be interesting next season with Al Ain. Shabab are playing really, really well. With obviously the top 3. It's going to be, I think next season will be a lot closer.
Oh, it will be. And Al Nassr will obviously spend some money and do something. And Al Wassel, still a great team. They just need to solidify and get their manager sorted out. If they're going to stay with you.
Well, that's one thing we've talked about in previous weeks, isn't it, about managers. I think in this league especially, they don't stick with the managers long enough. They don't give them the opportunity to build teams. It's almost, the job is to win games, and you've got to win games quickly. But look at the best clubs and best teams in the world. They've had managers for a long period of time. They've allowed them to build teams. And I think that's something they need to do out here.
They do need to change that. It is a proclivity to do things like that. But let us know what you think. We'd like to know, and about changing managers. I mean, they lose a couple of games and out he goes and they bring somebody. I mean, this has got to be one of the worst leagues for that in the world. I mean, I can't remember all the changes. I think nearly every team, apart from the top teams, have have changed. Al Nassr have changed. I mean, they're doing well.
Yeah.
Al Dafra have changed. And Al Wahda, I think, have changed. And Fujir have changed. And Hatter have changed. It goes on. It goes on and on. It's crazy. Let us know what you think about that. Have you got any more games to go? I've got just one more. Al Wahda versus Al Wasl. And you think at the moment, the best three strikers in the league at the moment, Ali Mabkud, Lima, Pedro Conde and Lima. Again, Lima came to the rescue against Al Wahda. He started when Ali Salah, what a great player, young Emirati player coming up. The goalkeeper brought him down. He won a penalty, and Lima stepped up, scored his 15th goal of the season. Al Wahda levelled in the 42nd minute from I think it's called Omar Karim. It's a lovely free kick. The goalkeeper saved it, but the lead came in. The Japanese player followed up and levelled the score. And to be honest, Al Wahda were the better team. And but nothing much happened. In the 76th minute, Lima played a through ball for Ahmed Mahmoud. It was brought down and by Ruben Felipe. A penalty was given. It's another one I'd love to speak to you about, Ian. It was a silly challenge. He brought him down, and penalty was given, and he sent the player off as well. I thought it was.
Yeah, it's a bit harsh.
It is a little bit harsh.
I think the penalty was enough.
It really was, and Lima steps up and scores his 16th goal of the season. But you should see the equaliser. You'll see it. You saw it in the highlights. This Omar Karim, I can't remember his name exactly. Scored a fantastic goal, and it was super defending. We see it all the time in this league. I've got to say that some of the defending it's abysmal. It's clueless. I mean, he passes it back. They're under no danger. Al Wasl. He misses a player he's passing to. Karim steps in. The goalkeeper's well off his line, and he plays this beautiful chip over the top. You should look. It's a lovely goal, and that brings them back into the game. Al Wahda should have won. They were the better team. They scored in the 93rd minute. Karim again. They thought they'd won it, and VAR rules it for offside, and it was disappointing. But again, this league is so interesting at the moment, Ian. It is
so
top.
tight.
Even the middle's great.
Yeah, it's. We thought, didn't we, not so long ago, that the relegation was sorted. The top of the table was just going to be through those top two. In the middle, we weren't really.
I think a little bit presumptuous where things are.
Yeah, and it's just suddenly, big shift this last month, and it's going to be interesting.
It really is an interesting. We're into the 2/3 of the league now. Yeah. Games are coming thick and fast, and we've got the cup final. You saw Al Nassr again versus Shabab Al Ahly. But anyway, that's our synopsis. What we're going to do, we're going to have a prediction now of the, and you can see they're coming up on your screen, either above my head or here to our cameraman. But what we're going to do, we're going to look at the league now for the games. We're out a little bit behind. You'll have to forgive us, COVID-19. I'm going to use that excuse here. But we're going to have a look at the games coming up here. So give us your prediction, Ricardo and Iain. So we got the first game is on Thursday the 11th of March, tomorrow. We've got Ajman versus Shabab Al Ahly. That's a tough one to call because Ajman are at home, they're playing okay. What do you think, Iain?
I think it would be wrong to go against Shabab.
Yeah.
They're playing some really good football. Like I said, they're going forward, they're very good. Defensively, they've been shored up and they look like more of a team, whereas before they were a little bit disjointed. Ajman would be desperate for the points, and like I said, going forward, they're very, very good. It's just whether their defence is strong enough against Shabab.
It comes down to Ajman's defence.
I don't think they are. So
I'm going to go for a draw. You're going to go for Shabab Al Ahly. What do you think, Ricardo? Ricardo's a neutral.
Okay, I just try to watch.
Well, Shabab are near the top, Ajman are near the bottom. Who do you think? Ajman are at home.
Ajman at home. He's gonna try to defend there because when they are at home, they try to do the backs.
Yeah.
So maybe they're gonna do the backs and
They're
gonna win.
They're going to win. Oh, so
it's a chance.
Ricardo's going for a win for Ajman, for all you Ajman guys. Okay, Iain, Hatter versus Al Jazeera. I'll be at this game.
That's a good
They're
game to
they've won
commentate.
2 now. They're on a bit of a
Yes.
run, but I can't see. I'm going for an Al Jazeera win.
Well, I think you're going to have a busy night.
Yeah.
I think by the end of it, I don't think you have much of a voice left. I think it will be quite, well, I'd say quite comfortable. I hope actually they're going in with professional attitude as if they're playing any other team, and they're not just playing Hatter at the bottom of the table.
I hope they don't do a Corsican. They went and think we're going to win this.
Exactly.
And
That's the only thing. But I don't think they will.
I think they've learned from
now
that.
that sort of space has opened up between them and Sharjah, and they know how well Banyas are playing. They'll go there, be very professional, and I would say 3 or 4-0.
3 or 4-0. Top against bottom. Al Jazeera top. Ricardo batter at the bottom. Who's going to win?
Jazeera.
Yeah, you know this club. You used to teach there.
Jazeera is good.
Yeah.
So,
Top of the league.
yes, top of the league.
They're going to win.
Yes.
All right, now the next game, Ian. Fujairah, now an absolute mare versus Al Wasl 8:15 on Thursday. I mean, Al Wasl are a little bit like this, up and down. Fujairah, they're in a bad place.
Again, another team that is desperate for points. I'd hope to see them fight for those points and work hard for it. Technically, I don't think they're good enough. It depends.
They've been poor.
Depends on the opposition, what sort of mood they're in as well.
Lima, though, is on fire. What do you think?
Yeah, he's a very, very good player. What's he scored? 16 goals.
Yeah,
possibly this
one
season.
behind Ali
So
Maktoum.
16 goals this season. It's going to be what Al Wasl.
Again, a lot depends. I've watched Fujairah twice at home and I've been absolutely disappointed.
And of course,
With
if that
Carnie.
happens, Fujairah again will be in a lot of trouble.
They will. I'm going for Al Wasl win. What do you think, Ricardo? Are you going with us or?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
Across the board.
Okay, Ian, your team, Sharjah, 8:15 on Thursday versus Corsican. Corsican, they were lost 4. They got a win last week. They look good.
Yeah, my old team, Sharjah. Yeah,
They need a win though.
Again, it's another.
Corsican will score. They'll score against them. I have no doubt.
I would hope that Sharjah have had a real kick up the backside of that last game, and hopefully that's
Need a win, Ian.
Yeah, and I think they will. I think they're desperate, aren't they? If they've got aspirations of winning a league, which they should do after they went, I think 8 or 9 games undefeated, they're going to have to get a result here.
I agree, and it could be a springboard for them because they've got some nice games coming up. So you're going for a Sharjah win. Sharjah against middle of the table. Corsican, what do you think? I'm going for Corsican.
It's playing good, so I think.
A lot of Brazilians, South Americans in there, Ricardo. What do you think?
It's South American Corsican, maybe I go to Corsican.
Corsican makes sense.
Yeah, for real.
All right, Ian, our surprise team on Friday, Kalba versus Al Dhafra.
Be a good game, I think. Two sort of evenly matched teams, both very physical. We know what the sort of aerial power, strength that Kalba have got up front with people like Malapa and David Mariani feeding him in. So I think.
Well, Kalba are coming off a fantastic win against.
Yeah, they'll be again on a high. Looked a lot on sort of social media, Instagram, stuff like that, and Kalba players again seem to be doing things together. They seem to be gelling, continuing this sort of this family club sort of atmosphere, which seems to be working well with them. I think Kalba will win.
I think they will as well, and David Mariani is playing really well as well at the moment. So it's like a middle of the table clash here. What do you think, Ricardo? Kalba, it's our team. We like Kalba against Al Dhafra. But Al Dhafra's your team.
Oh, that'll be my team, yeah.
You can't do that. Your friends will be watching, yeah.
Yeah, it's my team. So let's see now. They're gonna be like what?
It's middle.
Half and half?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think? You going for a draw or a win for Al Dhafra?
Draw.
I hope your friends are not watching. You told that all the Al Dhafra club. They used to stay there, didn't you? Goodness me, I hope they're not watching. Alright, 2 more to go. Banyas. Again, playing fantastic football against Al Nassr. This is the biggest one.
Yeah, big game.
This
Big game.
weekend.
Good game, really good game to watch, I can imagine. Both play really good football, move the ball quickly, very well disciplined, well organised. I think you might find it difficult to break each other down. So, yeah, it could be a draw.
Yeah. It could be. We were talking about Al Nassr saying they have a mean defence. It used to be the meanest. I don't think it is now. But I'm going for a Banyas win. What do you think, Ricardo?
Yes.
You're going to
Albania. They have to do something with the defense because they need to win any game.
Good for the Banyas win. Okay, last one, Iain. Al Wahda versus Alain.
I think it's very difficult one to
Local
call.
derby.
Yeah. Difficult to call because we know the situation. Al-Wahda, again, very consistent, as are Alain. It depends on what team they both put out. So I think I'm just going to sit on the fence of the draw.
Yeah, I'm going for a draw, but it's a local derby now. I'm going to change my mind. Al Wahda are going to win 2-1. What do you think? Al Wahda versus Alain, local derby in Abu Dhabi.
I like Alain. I like it.
You taught some people there, don't you? All right, what about that goal of the week here? Any goal that you particularly liked? You thought that was good in the games we watched?
Omar Juma.
That was a good goal.
Scored a really good goal. I would say for me, or the
Ali Cut, where he went through, took out two players.
Yeah, cut inside on his right foot and slipped it through the defender's leg. Really good. Or what about the first time chip over the top of the goalkeeper? I enjoyed that. I know the goal was presented to him. Was that Al Nasser? Where the defender passed it back and then he just nicked it.
That's next week's game. That's we want this week here. That's
Omar Juma, I would say.
Yeah,
great strike.
Right, Bandwood for Ali Cut. We'll get Ricardo to choose. Omar Juma or Ali Cut? Ali Cut's Al Jazeera.
Ali Cut.
We're going to get our cameraman to put that goal in. Would you put that goal in for us? Al Jazeera versus Sharjah. Alright, we'll put that one in at the end to finish off with.
Branley Kouwas, he's picked their pocket here. Branley Kouwas, it opens up. He comes all the way through. Ali Makout onto his right. Ali Makout, it's 2-0. And Al Jazeera have doubled their advantage.
Alright, thank you everybody. Thank you Iain, thank you Ricardo for coming into. Really nice to have you on. Thanks to our cameraman Sam. Remember, ring the bell. Give us some comments, we really appreciate it, and we now have our students here in the Ministry of Education. They watch some of these games and give their comments. Would you like to say anything here?
Just let us know who you think is going to win the league. Is it going to be Banyas, Sharjah, Al Jazeera, and who's going to go down? People from
Al Jazeera, yeah, sorry. Okay.
Yeah, you're looking at me from Colombia, guys. Ring the bell, okay? Good.
Yeah, Colombians, please. Colombianos, Colombianas.
Yeah.
Please ring the bell, say hi to Ricardo. You can type in Spanish. It's, we don't mind. And we know we have quite a few Colombian people who subscribed. So enjoy. Alright, thanks a lot.
Brilliant. Assalam.